Hey everyone, and welcome back. So, in our last few explainers, we've been building up this amazing toolkit for writing informal emails. Today is the day we put it all to the test. We're going to dive into some real student exam answers to see how all these skills really come to life, and most importantly, how they can help you get those top marks.
So here's our game plan for today. We'll do a super quick recap of what we've learned so far, and then we'll look at the actual exam question. After that, the fun part starts. We'll analyze two different student emails, see what they did right and what could be even better. We'll compare them side by side, pull out all the key lessons, and then, you guessed it, it's your turn to write. Let's do this.
All right, so think of today's mission like this. We're building a bridge. On one side, you've got all these rules and skills we've been talking about, and way over on the other side are those high marks you're aiming for. Today, we're going to connect the two by showing you exactly how to apply everything in a real exam.
So far, you've totally nailed the 5-paragraph structure, right? You've also learned why contractions, phrasal verbs, and idioms are so important for sounding natural. And we've built up your vocabulary for talking about emotions. So our mission today? To see all of that in action in a couple of real, high-scoring student emails. You know, every amazing answer starts with one thing: really understanding the question. So before we peek at any emails, let's break down the exact task that both of these students were given. This is probably the most important first step you can take.
Okay, so the task is to write an email to a friend. The topic? A family weekend trip where something went wrong. Now, pay super close attention to these 3 bullet points. They aren't just friendly suggestions, they are direct instructions. You have to describe why you went away, what the problem was, and how it affected you. To get top marks, you've got to cover all 3. Simple as that.
All right, let's meet our first writer, student A. I'm about to show you their complete email. For your first read-through, don't even worry about grammar or anything like that. Just get a feel for the story they're telling.
Okay, here it is. Just take a moment to read it. If you need a bit more time, go ahead and pause right here. Notice how they start, what happens in the middle, and how they sign off at the end.
Okay, let's break this down piece by piece. First off, look at that beautiful 5-paragraph structure. It's so clear. A friendly opening, a paragraph explaining the reason, one for the problem, one for the effect, and a nice closing. That's a perfect foundation. Now, see the words highlighted in purple? Words like so, therefore, and however are connectives that help the story flow really smoothly. The student also uses some great emotional words, which you see in pink, like unpleasant, dizzy, and terrible. But here's the real standout moment. Look at the blue highlight. The expression came out of a roller coaster. What a cool way to describe feeling sick. It paints a picture in your mind and makes the email so much more interesting to read.
So, let's sum it up for student A. The strengths are awesome. The structure's great, they answered all parts of the question, and the vocabulary is really strong. Now, what about improvements? Well, the biggest missed opportunity here is contractions. Using words like it's or we're would instantly make this email feel warmer and more conversational, which is exactly what we want for informal writing. A couple of small grammar fixes would make it even better, but overall, a really strong attempt.
Okay, time for our second example. Student B had the exact same question, but you're going to see their style is pretty different. Let's take a look at how they handled it and see what new things we can learn. And here is student B's email. Go ahead and take a moment to read it all the way through. And as you're reading, think about the tone right from that very first line. How does it feel different from student A's email?
The first thing that jumps out about this email is how informal it feels right away. See that yellow highlight? The student uses the contraction it's in the very first sentence, and they throw in conversational phrases like, guess what? That's just brilliant. It really pulls you in and makes it feel like you're having a real chat with a friend. We've also got great use of idioms and phrasal verbs like caught up and on the downside. And, just like student A, they use powerful emotional words like exhaustion, incredible, and delighted to make the story feel real.
So for student B, the absolute best thing is their amazing command of that informal tone. It just sounds so natural and friendly. The structure and the descriptions are fantastic too. The main things to work on are small, but they matter. A few little grammar slips and some phrasing that's just a tiny bit awkward. Also, mixing up the sentence length, using some short, punchy sentences with longer ones would make the writing even more exciting to read. All in all, though, a super effective email.
Okay, so both students wrote really strong emails, but they were great in different ways. And you know what? Neither one is absolutely perfect. But by comparing them, we can actually create a recipe for the perfect informal email.
So let's put them head to head.
This chart tells such an interesting story. You can see that student B was the clear winner when it came to those informal features, like using contractions and sounding really fluent and natural. Student A, on the other hand, had a slightly more formal feel, but a super logical and clear structure. What's cool is that both students used strong emotional words and were really engaging to read. Now, just imagine, if you could combine student A's logical precision with student B's natural, friendly tone, that right there is the gold standard.
So, what does this all mean for you? Well, here is your checklist for success. Number 1, always answer every single part of the question. Number 2, keep your tone friendly, and the easiest way to do that is with contractions. Don't be shy about adding an idiom or a phrasal verb if it fits. And of course, stick to that clear 5-paragraph structure, pack it with emotional words, and use connectives to link your ideas together. Okay, we've analyzed, we've compared, and we have definitely learned a lot. But now it's time for the most important part of all, action. The only way to get better at writing is, well, by writing. So let's get you started.
Here is your challenge. I want you to answer the exact same exam question that we've been looking at. Before you even start writing, plan out your 5 paragraphs. And as you write, try to include at least 3 contractions, 2 idioms, and 3 strong emotion words. Stick to the word count and, listen closely, this is the most important part, get some feedback on your writing and then improve it. I really want to leave you with this final thought. Writing that first draft is awesome, but it's just the beginning. The real learning, where you really get better, is when you get feedback, look at your own work again, and then rewrite it. That is the true secret to becoming a fantastic writer.
And remember, you are in the driver's seat of your own progress. Nobody can do the practice for you. So take charge, keep writing, keep making it better, and I promise you, you will see amazing results. You've totally got this.
Hey, if you found this analysis helpful, do me a favor and give it a like, and make sure you subscribe to Nest Lingua for more. If you've got any questions at all, just drop them in the comments below. And definitely check out our full playlist that covers every single writing task. Thanks so much for watching, and keep practicing.